All right, so we're diving into AI for your SME, and it's a big one, right? Figuring out the cloud versus on-prem thing. Especially when we're talking, tighter budgets. We've got a stack of articles and videos here from Gary Stoyanov and HIGTM. And honestly, there's some really insightful stuff that can help, make that decision.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is it's how much these sources kind of challenge the assumption that cloud AI is always the cheapest.
Yeah.
It's easy to see those upfront costs and think, oh, that's that. But the reality is, well, a little more complicated.
Oh, absolutely. It's like when you sign up for the streaming service, and it
Yeah,
seems like such a good deal, right? Until you realize you need like three different add-ons just to watch what you want.
exactly. And those monthly bills, they can really sneak up on you,
Yeah.
especially if your data usage is, a little unpredictable or you need to scale up quickly.
So then we got on-prem on the other side. Right. Bigger initial investment, but you get so much more control over your data, your system, everything.
It's that classic rent versus buy, isn't it? On-prem gives you ownership, customization, but you also have the responsibility of maintenance and upgrades and all that.
And for SMEs, I mean, that's a big trade-off, control versus convenience.
Huge. SMEs, they've got to be strategic, limited resources, need fast results. They may not have giant IT teams to deal with all the complexity.
Okay, so let's break this cost thing down a bit further. We've got this, total cost of ownership TCO coming up. What does that actually mean when we're comparing cloud versus on-prem?
Well, TCO, it's about looking past that initial price tag. It's factoring in everything, hardware, software, maintenance, even training your team. So for on-prem, yeah, you might have higher upfront costs, but over time, if you've got predictable workloads, your data needs are stable, you could see some savings compared to cloud.
But that's a big if, right? Because on-prem, you're also on the hook for security updates, hardware upgrades. You might even have to hire specialized staff.
Yeah, those ongoing costs, they add up, and they're not always easy to predict. And on the cloud side, we've got those hidden costs you mentioned, things like data egress fees. HIGTM really hammered on those.
Yeah, they did. Can you break that down for those of us who aren't, cloud experts? What are those fees about?
Sure. Data egress fees, it's what cloud providers charge you to move your data out of their system. So if you're constantly pulling large data sets or transferring data to another platform, it can get pretty expensive.
So it sounds like cloud and on-prem both have their own sneaky costs, things you really got to factor in.
Absolutely. It's understanding your needs and really projecting those costs over time. HIGTM actually had some really interesting case studies that highlight
Oh,
this.
yeah, those were good. They had that e-commerce startup, remember? With sales that were all over the place.
Yeah, unpredictable spikes in traffic and data usage. Think like flash sales or those viral product moments. The cloud scalability, it was a lifesaver for them. They could ramp up their resources during those peaks and then scale back down when things calm down, all without investing in tons of extra hardware.
So it's like having an elastic server room, expanding and contracting on demand.
Exactly. But then they had the other example, that manufacturing firm with super stable workloads.
Oh, yeah, they were doing cool stuff with AI-powered machine vision, but their data needs were pretty predictable.
Right. For them, on-prem made more sense. They can invest in powerful GPU servers, optimized for their specific tasks, complete control over their data security, which was huge for them because they were working with sensitive designs.
So two totally different companies, two different solutions, and neither was like right or wrong. It was about finding the best fit.
That's the key point, isn't it? No one size fits all. So how do you, as an SME, even start figuring this out?
Well, that's where Gary Stoyanov's AI readiness assessment comes in. He breaks it down into 5 steps, right? First, figure out what you're actually trying to achieve with AI. What are your goals? What problems are you trying to solve?
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the hype. But you got to have that clear understanding of how AI will actually benefit your business. Once you've got those goals, then you can start looking at your technology, your infrastructure.
Right, so take stock of what you've got. Do you have servers that can handle AI workloads? What about data storage capacity, software tools?
Step 3 is all about assessing your team's skills. This could be a tough one, but it's important. Do you have the in-house expertise to manage on-prem? Or are your strengths more on the business side? Maybe leveraging a cloud provider's expertise makes more sense.
So tech, team, then it's time to zero in on the right use cases. Don't try to do everything at once. Start specific, start measurable.
Exactly. Could AI optimize your inventory, personalize customer interactions, automate some tedious task that's eating up employee time, focus on areas where AI can deliver, and build from there?
And finally, once you've gone through those first 4 steps, time to formalize the plan. Get it out of your head, put it in writing.
A written plan. It helps you stay focused, track progress, get everyone on board, objectives, timelines, budget.
It's your roadmap for the AI journey, right? You know where you're starting, where you want to go, and how you're going to get there.
Exactly. But even with the best roadmap, there's the human element. It's not just tech, it's the people using it.
Right. Implementing AI, it's not just plugging in software. It's about bringing your team along.
And that's why building internal AI awareness is so often overlooked. We need to address those natural fears and skepticism that come up when people hear AI for the first time.
Yeah, it can feel like a big leap, for sure. Some people might worry about their jobs, others are intimidated by the tech itself.
Exactly. That's why HIGTM emphasizes tailored content, engaging formats, explain AI in simple terms, focus on the benefits, show real-world examples of how AI can make jobs easier, not eliminate them.
Like those examples they shared about that retail chain and that finance startup. They both had really different approaches to building that awareness.
Yeah, the retail chain, they started with these bite-sized weeking sessions.
Yeah.
30 minutes, focused on practical applications, like how can AI help us with inventory forecasting?
And what's interesting is their attendance really took off when managers realized learning even basic data analytics could help them cut down on those manual tasks and minimize errors.
And it wasn't long before they were collaborating with the analytics team, piloting a new AI-powered reorder system. They saw the potential, and the fear turned into excitement.
And that finance startup, they went the creative route, right? Those short explainer videos.
Yes, AI Mythbusters or something like that.
Mm.
Each video tackled a specific concern head-on, like, will AI replace financial advisors?
Mm.
They explained how AI could actually enhance their work, handling routine tasks, freeing them up to focus on clients.
They also had one on how AI was improving fraud detection, which was a big concern for their customers. Real examples kept it light and engaging. It really shifted the perception of AI within the company.
Those are great examples of how to approach AI literacy. Meeting people where they are, addressing concerns, highlighting the benefits.
So we've talked about the costs, the tech, bringing your team on board. What else should SMEs be thinking about?
Well, one area that's often overlooked, especially by smaller businesses, is the ethical side of AI. Just because we can use it to do something doesn't always mean we should.
HIGTM highlighted fairness, privacy, transparency as the three pillars of ethical AI, and those apply just as much to SMEs as they do to big corporations.
100%. If your AI is making biased decisions or mishandling sensitive data, the consequences can be serious legally and for your reputation.
It's about building trust with your customers and employees, being transparent about how you're using AI, ensuring those algorithms are fair and unbiased.
It's not just about avoiding legal trouble. It's about doing the right thing, which is ultimately good for business.
Okay, so ethical considerations. And I think that leads us nicely to our next big topic, data.
Because all this AI magic relies on good fuel, right?
Gary Steinoff uses this great analogy of the overstuffed closet. You know, the one where you cram everything in, and then you can never find what you need.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like when you have tons of data, but it's low quality. You're drowning in information, but not getting valuable insights.
Yeah, it's not about quantity, it's quality. Do you have the right data to train your AI models? Is it accurate, relevant, free from bias?
HIGTM was really clear. Data curation is key. We need to be deliberate about what we collect, ensure accuracy, organize it in a way that makes it usable.
And that doesn't just happen magically. You need data governance, frameworks, training, the right tools.
Think about the data you're already collecting, customer interactions, sales figures, website traffic. Is it organized in a way that an AI can actually use it?
That's a great point. A lot of SMEs struggle with data that's siloed in different systems, different formats, missing values. It's a mess, and that's where data curation comes in.
It's like building a strong foundation for your AI house. You need those clean, organized bricks of data to build something stable.
So how do you even begin to tackle that? SMEs are already stretched thin. How do you add data cleaning and all that to the to-do list?
It starts with a mindset shift. Data quality isn't just an IT problem, it's a business imperative. Everyone, from sales to marketing, needs to understand why it matters.
HIGTM talks about empowering your team with the right tools and training. Make data accuracy part of the culture, not just an afterthought.
It can be as simple as, data validation checks in your CRM, or setting up automated cleaning processes.
But what about those legacy systems, the ones that seem to spit out more errors than insights? Those can be a real headache.
That's where data integration comes in, connecting the dots between different sources. So you have that single, unified view of your business. And the good news is, there are so many tools and services out there now. to help SMEs streamline that process.
So it's not about ripping and replacing everything. It's about making your existing systems work together.
Exactly. And once you've got that data house in order, that's when you can start to unlock those real AI insight.
Okay, so we've been laying the groundwork here, right?
Hmm.
Understanding the costs, the tech, getting the team on board, thinking about the ethical side, and of course that data piece.
It's a lot, yeah,
Yeah.
but these sources do a good job showing how connected it all is. You can't really focus on just one thing, you know?
It's like a puzzle, got to get all the pieces to see the whole picture.
Exactly. So let's say you've done all that, analyzed your needs, the data,
Yeah.
you're building that AI awareness, committed to the ethical practices. What's next? How do you actually, put this plan into action?
That's the big question, right? We've got the knowledge, but how do we get results?
Well, like any big business move, you got to have a roadmap. Gary Storninoff, he talks about aligning your AI investments with your strategy. He's got a point there.
Yeah, AI shouldn't just be the shiny new toy. It's got to tie back to your objectives. What are you actually trying to achieve?
Increase revenue, boost efficiency, better customer satisfaction. AI can help with all of that, but it's got to be strategic.
He also talks about starting with a pilot project. Small, manageable, prove the value of AI without a huge investment up front.
I love that idea. A pilot project, it lets you test things out, see how AI works in your environment, get the team comfortable with it. It's a good way to get some momentum, get buy-in from everyone.
Like dipping your toes in the AI pool before jumping all the way in.
Exactly. And don't forget about setting those KPIs, key performance indicators. How are you actually going to measure success?
You need a way to track progress, right? Are you looking for a sales increase, lower churn, more automation in a process?
Defining those KPIs up front, it keeps you focused and it shows the ROI. HIGTM actually had some really cool examples of SMEs that saw real results. You remember those?
Oh, yeah, they were good. There was that online store, the one that invested in the AI product recommendations. It wasn't a huge investment, was it?
Something like $5,000, which is pretty small for a lot of businesses, but the impact was huge. They saw a 12% increase in average order value, meaning customers were buying more each time.
They trained the algorithm on their sales data and browsing history, and it started recommending stuff people were more likely to buy. Pretty smart.
And because it was a pilot, they could see those results fast, tweak the algorithm, and then roll it out to their whole platform.
And that led to a 20% sales boost overall. Not bad for a $5,000 investment.
Phenomenal return. It shows how even small steps into AI can have a big impact.
But they also had that other example, the manufacturing firm, the predictive maintenance one. That was a bigger upfront cost, right?
Yeah, more of a commitment, around $30,000 if I remember. They were using AI to analyze sensor data from their equipment to predict when maintenance would be needed.
So instead of waiting for something to break, they could plan ahead, minimize downtime, keep production going.
Exactly. It took them about 6 months to see the real benefits. But once that system was running, AI models trained, they saw a 25% drop in unplanned downtime.
Think of all the money saved, avoiding those production stocks and emergency repairs. Not to mention, way less stress for the maintenance team.
Those stories show how AI isn't just hype. It's a game changer. Solving problems, optimizing, driving growth.
But it's also about managing expectations, right? It's not going to magically fix everything overnight.
Right. It takes planning, the right data, a good team, ethical practices, and just as important, being willing to adapt.
Because the AI world is changing fast. What works today might not work tomorrow. You got to be flexible, keep learning, adjust as you go.
And that's one thing I like about HIGTM. They really emphasize continuous learning. It's not enough to just implement something and walk away.
You got to stay curious, keep up with what's new, train your team. Tech moves fast. You got to keep pace.
Think of it like building an AI muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But like any muscle, it needs the right fuel.
And that fuel is good data, right?
Absolutely. The better your data, the better your AI. It's a cycle. Better data, better AI, better business, even more data.
So it's about creating that data-driven culture. It's not just about the tech, it's a way of thinking.
And recognizing that AI is a tool, but used the right way, it can help your SME do incredible things.
And, sometimes it can feel overwhelming, especially for smaller businesses, limited resources.
I get it. It's a lot to take in, but you don't have to do it alone.
In HIGTM, they offer those private consultations, don't they?
Yeah, their team can work with you, evaluate costs, make a rollout plan, guide you on that ethical framework. They've got tons of experience with SMEs.
So if you're feeling lost, reaching out to them could be a good move. They can be a good partner in navigating all this.
And remember, there are a lot of SMEs out there going through this. Connect with others, share what you've learned. the good and the bad.
That's how we all grow, right?
Mhm.
Collaboration, sharing knowledge. It's not about competition, it's about progress together.
Exactly. AI, it's not just technology. It's about empowering businesses to thrive, to innovate, to make things better.
It really feels like we're at this tipping point with AI. Especially for SMEs, there's so much potential.
It's a game changer, for sure. And what's great is it's giving smaller businesses access to tools that, well, they used to be only for the big guys.
Right, but I think the key takeaway here is AI, it's not just about chasing the latest trends.
Absolutely not.
It's got to be about solving those real problems you face, making better decisions, and ultimately creating a better experience for everyone, your customers, your team.
Couldn't agree more. And you know, one thing that really stuck with me from all this research is how much they emphasize continuous learning.
Oh, yeah, that came up a lot.
It's huge because the
Ooh.
AI landscape is constantly shifting. New algorithms, new best
Yeah.
practices, and honestly, your own needs as a business are going to change too.
So you can't just set it and forget it. You got to stay curious, you got to keep up with what's new, invest in training for your team.
It's like, think about building a house. You wouldn't just put up the walls and never do any maintenance.
Makes sense.
You're always going to have updates, repairs, got to adapt to the changing weather. Same with AI.
And just like a house needs a solid foundation, your AI needs that foundation of good data.
The fuel for the whole engine, yeah.
Yeah.
The better the data, the better the AI performs.
It's like this positive feedback loop. Good data, good AI, good business results, and that leads to even more data to keep refining things.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not just the data, it's the people too.
Hmm.
The ones working with it, using the tools. It's about building that data-driven culture, that mindset of learning.
So, what does all this mean for our listeners? I think the big takeaway is AI isn't just about the technology itself. It's about adopting a whole new way of thinking.
It is. It's becoming data-driven, embracing innovation, understanding that AI is a tool, and like any tool, you got to use it the right way.
It's about giving your team the power to make those changes, giving them the skills and tools they need to thrive in this AI world.
We really hope this deep dive has given you, the listener, the knowledge and that spark of confidence to start exploring AI.
Absolutely, because it's a journey, not just a destination. There are going to be bumps in the road for sure. But with the right mindset, the right data, the right people supporting you, you can really unlock what AI has to offer.
And as you start that journey, I want you to think about this. What's one area in your business where having those better data insights could totally change how you operate or how you connect with your customers?
Hold on to that question and never be afraid to try things out, to experiment, to learn as you go. The future of AI is, well, it's exciting, especially for those who are willing to embrace it.
It is. So go out there, explore, get your hands dirty, and make something amazing.